the Constitutional Drafting Committee inaugurated under the Venerable Shirotimi Williams recommended presidential system of government, and that's what we are still operating to today. So you can see the creation of states, you can see the movement to Abuja, you can see the federal presidential system of government, you can also see some of the controversial decisions that he took, like the taking over of the Daily Times, that has momentous impact on Nigerian journalism. You can see the federalization of the radio corporations across the country. All those are Murtala's impact within some few months. We will always remember him down the centuries.
Okay, it was on this day, July 29, 1975, that he assumed office as head of state. And then, of course, it was said that, short-lived. And many people keep saying, well, if he had been there for a much longer period, maybe it would have impacted more on the development process in Nigeria. And that because, he left very early, we didn't quite get the full effect of his leadership. But what aspects of his legacy will you say have endured? Because as they say, it's not how long, it's how well. What aspects have endured?
I'll just mention some. You look at the presidential system. If you look at Gowon's system of governance was a bit tempered. But Murtala believed that government should take action. Once a decision is taken, you should move ahead. You don't need to be temporizing. And up to today, even politicians who don't do things with immediate effect, they also mention with immediate effect, as if politicians can do things with immediate effect. Those are the lexicon of General Murtala Muhammed. And of course, Abuja is there as a almost, you can say, the eternal capital of Nigeria, because there is no agitation from that time period that we should again change the capital to somewhere else. Everybody seems to have accepted the decision that Abuja should remain the capital of Nigeria. In the foreign policy, you can see he energized Nigerian foreign policy by aligning Nigeria with the liberation struggle in South Africa, to the extent that during the Obasanjo period that succeeded him, Nigeria was regarded as a member of the frontline state. Though geographically we were very far away, but in terms of action, we were very close to the struggle in South Africa.
Okay, but some people also criticize aspects of his legacy. The purge in the civil service, the crisis within the education system. Some people trace the roots to the Murtala Muhammed era.
Well,
true or false?
Well, we get wiser now after the event. At the period of his ascension of power, many people were questioning the influence of especially the top civil servants on General Gowon. The fact that many things Gowon would try to do, they will not be able to do so. And therefore, the government will take a decision, and some people will say, no, this thing cannot be done. And it will not be done. And the head of state will appear powerless about it. So during Murtala Muhammed's period, he was able to domicile power in Dodan Barracks. You knew who was really in charge of Nigeria. So you are right that some of the purges were controversial. Some of the purges may have had unintended effects. But at the period Murtala was carrying out those purges, Nigerians were very happy. They believed that he was doing the right thing. Well, you may say that over the years, this may have affected, they call it the morals of the public service. But if you look down the line, what has happened across the years, other people have had the opportunities of doing other things. Why we continue to talk about what Murtala did in 75, 76 as having the morale? There are other things that may affect the morals, and part of the thing is the indiscipline that Murtala complained about. We have been unable to cure our republic of indiscipline.
So, at a time like this, what are some things you can pick? You'll say, okay, discipline. Maybe, probably it's going to be one of them. The famous going to the post office early in the morning, people were not on ground, and he got them booted out, arriving at places, government places unannounced, and civil servants were made to come on time and all of that. Do we need that kind of push at this time?
I think what we need more now is governance by example. A leader showing example. The law says, don't do this. The law says, don't drive along, face one way. But then you see people who have, people are obviously riding cars bought for them by taxpayers will be facing one way.
But
So things obviously, if we follow Murtala Muhammed examples, things obviously will be better for us, especially in the personal conduct of leaders. Yes.
They were also back and forth about, because he was former Federal Communications Commissioner.
Yes.
They were also back and forth about ghost workers while he was there and all of that. In fact, Ajebe even wrote famously, about that in his books about, problem with Nigeria and all of that,
I'm sure you know that a minister cannot manufacture ghost workers.
Okay.
Ghost workers are those inflicted list of workers, usually by civil servants. They know what to do. They give them names, they give them numbers, and then they know what to do. But now, with the era of digitalization, that has seriously reduced. Unfortunately, I can't remember anybody being punished for manufacturing ghost workers, both at the state and the federal level. And that shows us that the impunity that Murtala tried to address, we continue with that kind of impunity even now.
Okay, one way to summarize this is that Nigeria will appear to